a little bit late, an hour behind today from normal time, but we'll make up that time in the course of the flight. Isn't that weird? They like make it up over the course of the flight. Why wouldn't we just have gone the fast way to begin with?
Right.
It's like we're gonna make it up over there. Oh, what I actually wanted to do is the flight to be a lot longer. I wanted to be stuck up here with you in the germ can for longer. It's like I never understood that, man. It's
Yeah.
like Jay, ever hear them say that? We're gonna make up the time in the air. We're late. We're gonna make it up. And it's like, why do you just always? Why don't you just I think what
Yeah.
they do is they make the flights. They schedule them a little bit longer to give themselves that cushion, so they can be America's number one on time airline.
Yeah. I when I flew to New York last week, they actually arrived an hour early. It was the fastest I've ever
It
flown, from coast to coast. And I was thinking to
was a
myself,
great tailwind.
no, I was like, well, how come this doesn't always happen? Just
Tell me about it. I should be out in Vegas in the next couple weeks. Figure it out. But we've got NFL football this week. Of course, it is the Thanksgiving games. We'll start with that. Well, I went the wrong order. Look at me. Got all crazy. Went opposite order. Started on Monday and going this way. Anyways, we'll start with the first game. Always the 12:30 game Eastern time on Thanksgiving Day. It's the Lions. Usually they do play a divisional opponent. They play them a hell of a lot. I remember I've seen them against non-divisional opponents plenty over the years, but mostly it seems like these divisional opponent games usually pretty good games. Al, 7.5 is what I'm seeing.
yeah.
You seeing anything different than that?
No.
I
I
don't
mean,
have the
last
odds.
yeah, last week, I don't know if you guys were on the Bears. I had the Bears last week. I went against Detroit. And Chicago got the money. They tried to give it away at the end on that
Oh,
last play.
they kicked the ball out of the end zone. I
Oh
saw
my
that.
gosh! They
They sure tried to give it away, man. They
tried to
sure
give
tried.
it away. Um, I'm going to take Detroit here. We've talked about it before. I mean, with Dan Campbell as coach, the Lions are now 17-2 ATS. If their opponent was not off a straight up loss, and all they do is cover with, since Campbell's taken over, any stat you want to look at, they're pretty much going to be profitable. Um, I can't go against Detroit here on Turkey Day. I'm going to lay the points.
Jay, how about you?
The thing is, I'm gonna take the Packers. The thing is like this is gonna sound insane, and it has nothing to do with anything. But do all three favorites really cover on Thanksgiving? Like, is that really about to happen?
I mean, in past years, yes, that's usually what
I know,
happened on
I know, I
Thanksgiving.
know. I
Thanksgiving
had the stat.
historically, not last year, but historically, Thanksgiving has been the day of the year where all the chalk wins, or all the whatever makes sense makes sense. It's not an upside down day, and um, if
All
you're a
right,
contrarian, if
Yeah,
you're a
but now they've
contrarian, you
added
would be
that
in
late game, so it's not always the case.
Yeah, but it's
Anymore.
now last year it reversed, and you had a lot of the unexpected things happen. I think, but generally speaking, on Thanksgiving Day over the 40 years or whatever, it's been that kind of day.
no, you're right. You're right.
Generally speaking,
I'm not gonna overcomplicate. You're right. You're right. Talk some sense into me. That's why I love doing the shows. You guys talk sense into me. I'm not gonna catch the falling knife with the Packers. They did get a win in Lambeau last week over the Chargers, but the Lions have shown that they're head and shoulders the better team. This is the most hype the Lions have had around them in quite some time. At home, Thanksgiving Day, that building is going to be on a million. I can't fade the Lions. I will say, Goff, them three INTs last week was horrible. They were horrible. Uh, but I think they bounce back and look good here at home.
just to put or give you the statistic, so you know where I'm coming from. Going all the way back to 1980, the favorite has gone 61-40 ATS on Thanksgiving games. Double-digit favorites have gone 14-3. So it's just historically, it's been one of those days where the favorites have ruled the roost, but it doesn't always stay the course, so things change.
Well, I'm going to take the Packers here, and I know that a lot of people aren't going to, agree with what I say, but I got news for you. Of all the quarterbacks that I bashed this year, which is most of them, I actually think Jordan Love is actually making improvement. I watch all the games, and I watch them like a hawk because I just figure maybe I'll find value somewhere, that people won't see because of the stigma, right? All the bettors, they catch on to the stigma. But this guy in the game that they lost of their last three, the one that they lost, he threw on both the touchdown passes that he threw were just beautiful. I mean, he just dropped them right in there. He had his receivers open. I mean, they've won 2 of their last 3 games. It was the game they lost. It was the game against the Steelers that they lost. Was when he threw these 2 really nice passes. They had a chance to win that game at the end. He threw an interception, but they had they had the extra point that was blocked earlier in the game, so they were not in a situation to kick a field goal to get it to overtime. Had they not had that extra point blocked, they would have been in overtime. Who knows what's going to happen? This guy's getting better, and maybe I was wrong to a certain extent.
I don't think so.
I think this Lions defense sucks. I think they have a really good pass rush, and I think the guy they got when they were picking, number 1, which a pick they earned from being so bad, Hutchinson, is really, really good. But I think the rest of the defense is just garbage. And it's like we saw the Chargers, like the Chargers, they were up like 20-0 in that game. They ended up winning 23. They ended up winning
41-38.
41-38, but they were up by 20 in that game. They just let it all go away. What was the halftime score? It was
pretty close at half.
But they were up like 20.
They were in control. Detroit was in control the whole game.
Yeah, they were up 17-3. Then it was 17-10. They were up 27-10. So they were up 27-10. They ended up winning by 3 points. Yeah, they're garbage. I'm taking the Packers here. I think that they get the cover. I think the Lions probably win. They've been doing a lot of that. I think they win. I don't think they cover. I don't know. Just a hunch. Got the next game on the board. It is the Cowboys and the Commanders. Jay sold out on his Cowboys last week. I had the Panthers were my top play. The Cowboys were my top play. We just kicked their butt. I knew we were gonna. I told Jay the whole time, and I just used all of his sayings that he says about his Cowboys while I described it. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, the best part about it was he wouldn't pick them against the shitbag Panthers. But I still don't understand it. A lot of people were on the Panthers in that game. I do not understand the pick. It wasn't cute. It wasn't sharp. There was nothing about it. They're a super public dog is what they were. But anyways, Jay, Cowboys are back at it Thanksgiving Day. No Zeke. It's kind of a new era here for Thanksgiving.
No, man.
Thanksgiving was always kind of Zeke's game.
No Kettle. Man, you just reminded me. That's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
In the kettle. Damn.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was kind of always Zeke's game. But, they've had other guys before. Clint Longley had his day in Dallas, on Thanksgiving, and, other guys have too.
For me, at least, betting Thanksgiving hasn't been fun because them boys, I feel like they haven't covered. They didn't cover last year. They got outrighted the year before, and I think they failed to cover the year before that. So it's been like 3 straight years of non-covers for my boys, man.
I mean, if you want to go back further, Dallas is 1-11 ATS its last 12 Thanksgiving Day games.
Fuck. And this number, it's inflated too because of how bad the Commanders looked last week, and we smashed the Panthers. I'm not fading my team on Thanksgiving. I'm riding them. We are head and shoulders the better team. We should win this game by 14 plus. Will they find a way? Maybe. The Commanders always love playing us. Like they love playing us more so than any other team in the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came out here and treated this game as their Super Bowl, but Dallas is the play for me here. I can't do it. You staying honest this week, Mitch?
Yeah, we're gonna kick the crap out of the Commanders. This is a no doubter. This is one of those games that's going to be like a lot like that Giants game that we opened the season, came in, let them kind of move down the field, blocked the opening field goal, and just started running downhill on them. I mean, last week just put on an exhibition in Carolina. If that game would have gone any further, that game, exactly the way that we called it in the morning on the show, they were going to just beat the crap out of them and put the scrubs in, and we did. We saw Cooper Rush in there. We saw everybody playing in that game. I didn't even know half the guys that we had on the team. I think they put the practice squad guys in the walk-ons. But, yeah, I think they're picking people out of the stands to come play. But in this one, I think they're going to whip the Commanders. I think that this is a bad, bad spot for Washington. I think that this quarterback, he is probably going to be okay at some point when you look at him in the grand landscape. But against this Cowboys team that, oh, my God, that Micah Parsons, he gets into the backfield and he just blows up the game plan. And then all of a sudden it's like you got nowhere to go because now you got a defensive touchdown put on you, or you gave the offense the ball at like the 6-yard line or something. And then all of a sudden now you're down a touchdown. So now you're pressing. And then it gets worse because then it comes from the other side. I really like the Cowboys' pass rush. I don't love the secondary, but they're made a lot better because they have a really good pass rush. I don't think anyone's going to be able to run the ball on them because they're going to be down by 100 points. I like the Cowboys here. I'm going to say 51-3.
I mean, I guess I'll be the lone person on Washington. Last week, my best play was on the Giants against the Commanders, so I wasn't surprised that the Giants, whipped Washington. That's led to this line being, I think, a little bit inflated. It's up to 12.5 right now.
I'm with
you. As Jay mentioned, this is the fiercest rivalry in football. It's also been an underdog-oriented rivalry. The underdog generally gets the cash when these two teams meet. And especially if the favored team is not off a straight-up loss. In that situation, the underdog has gone 40-16 ATS. I'm not going to fade that stat. I'm going to take the 12.5 with Washington.
I love your explanation. I just hate it's against my team.
It ain't going to happen. No chance. Dallas has the number 2 defense in the NFL. And Washington
How's the most
drops
quarterback in the NFL?
Sam Howell drops back to pass more than any other quarterback in the NFL. He's going to get destroyed. It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be real bad. And then the Commanders' defense, the vaunted Commanders' defense, the worst pass defense in the entire league. I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb for 2 touchdowns in this game. Maybe he'll be the new Zeke in this one because they're the worst defense in the NFL. Ron Rivera is a defensive coach. They're 29th in yards per game against, 30th in passing yards against, and they can't defend the run either. They're 21st in rushing yards against per game. This is a bad, bad team. They're bad. They stink. The Cowboys are the 5th best yards per game. We also are the 5th best in passing yards per game. Yep. We also have the best completion percentage of any team in the NFL, 70.4%. Yep. We got it, man. Dak, I mean, you guys all disrespect us, but I'll tell you what, man. Me and Dak, we're going places this year. This is a mismatch.
You crack me up, man.
Got the 49ers taking on the Seahawks. Another weird game. Seahawks missed that field goal last week against the Rams. That was the weird one on the board because that line went from 1 to plus 1.5, and then it went. So you could have lost on the Seahawks, won on the Seahawks. Like I lost in the circ on the Seahawks. I won my bet on the Seahawks. It was just one of those weird disasters. And the thing is, they hit the field goal, which was basically, which was very makeable. It wouldn't have even mattered. It would have covered everything, but they didn't. So it made it even more shaky. But this 49ers team, we know when Deebo Samuel plays, they win. When he doesn't play, they don't win. I just think that once again, I like all the dogs on Thanksgiving this year, all of them. And,
you just said you'd like Dallas.
Well, except for Dallas, but you can count them as a dog there because we're so disrespected.
Okay, I understand. I understand because
Look how many
they never.
people were on the Panthers last week. I mean, it was like you would have thought that we were the shit team with one win. You know, I mean, we're going to win the Super Bowl, and it's like we're acting like we're the one-win team. But the Panthers, they were getting the love in that game. I did not understand. I mean, the thing about that game too, about that Panthers-Cowboys game, it was over right away. It wasn't like, oh man, the Panthers hung around, the Cowboys just eked out. It was the first drive, surgery. It was like every Cowboy player touched the ball. And then they did it again and again and again. Then finally they put the scrubs in. It was like, I was watching it on YouTube, or else they would have changed it to a more competitive game. But the thing is, in this one, I think Seattle hangs in there with the Niners. I think they make this their style of game. I don't think they win. But I think that it's one of these 4 or 5 point games where the ball kind of, it's a sloppy looking, ugly game, divisional game. And I think they cover the 7 points.
I agree.
At 5.5, I'd be a little less willing to dip my toe in the water.
Yeah, and it's 7 at Circa, but it's also 7.5 at BetMGM, 7.5 at DraftKings, 7.5 at BetOnline.
Oh, those are the squares.
Most books have it. Bovada has a 7.5. I like Seattle here as well. It's
if Circa's comfortable at 7, I'm more than comfortable at 7.5.
They'll probably be at 7.5 tomorrow, though. Yeah, I mean it's also a playoff revenge game for the Seahawks. They lost in last year's playoffs to San Francisco. I'm going to take Seattle plus the 7.
I'm taking all the favorites on Thanksgiving. That's why I think I'm setting myself up.
I mean, historically, it's been the last 2 years, though, the favorites are 1 and 2 in each of the last 2 years. But other than that, I mean, they've been Money in the Bank for 40 years.
I know. I'm going with every last one of them, Big Al. I am. I'm not. Hey, I've been fading Seattle's ass all year. They're overrated. And last week was basically what I thought it was. It was pretty much what I had been saying. And the book seemed to agree with me. They were overrated. They were an overrated team. They were 6-3, but a dog to a 3-6 team. That's overrated. And they didn't cover. They lost. Now they're going up against the best team in the NFL, or I've called them that for most of the season. I think they beat these boys up, man. I think they just rough them up. Just classic Niners.
It could happen. It could happen. It could definitely happen. Oh, I don't have this one. I got to download it. Hang on. Forgot about this one. Totally forgot about the Friday game.
How could you forget about that? That's your team.
I don't really have a team.
Nah, don't try to disown them. Don't try to disown them. We know.
I'm not disowning. I'm not an NFL fan. I don't even. What is it?
It's gonna be my Dolphins and all this if they go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not really. I really don't care that much, to be honest with you. I wish I did. I wish I cared more.
AFC Championship game in Miami. Are you on the 50?
Nope.
What?
Nope. I haven't been to a game since they've moved to the new stadium. I've been to 2 games total since they've left the Orange Bowl. And I have season tickets.
I know, that's why I asked. They in the AFC Championship game, would that be enough to get you to go?
Absolutely not. Do not care. I'd sell those tickets and just spend it all on hookers and blow. Support my crack habit. Take it all, throw it all in the hard 10 at Vegas. Here it is. Dolphins against the Jets, Jets. This is a rivalry game, for sure. Al, you're up.
Yeah, the line's ticking down. It's down to 9 and 41 at Circa. I'm going to look at the total. The Jets offense, it's taken a holiday the past 3 games. They've scored just 6, 12, and 6 points for a total of 24 points combined over their last 3. They've now gone under the total in 5 straight games, and they're going to turn to Tim Boyle at quarterback. And so you see the over/under line, it's at 41 from an opener of 42, and that's in response to all of this. I just think the over has value. When you take a look at how teams do, if they haven't been scoring a lot of points of late, and if they've scored less than 26 over their 3 previous games, they've then gone over the total 61.8% of the time. So I just think the combination of a lot of low scores by the Jets the last few weeks and a relatively low over/under number, I'm going to take it over the total.
There's some weird guy in my comments on my NBA Jam session. I'm from the block. He's clearly an idiot. This guy goes, he told you guys to take the Sixers, but Joel Embiid is out. He didn't even mention it. Safe to say he's just dumb or he works for the books. Either one is just bad for the fact that people come here for advice. Well, you silly man.
Embiid listed out. These.
Yeah, like, what are you talking? Embiid just got listed out an hour ago. That video dropped this morning at 7 o'clock.
Easy Johnson.
Yeah, like, bro, get out of here.
He really picked the Bulls plus 7.5.
No, I did not.
Where did you get that from? He doesn't know sports, or he works for the books. You decide. Shaking my head. Bulls plus 7.5. I can't believe the nerve of this guy.
He clearly didn't watch the video because everybody knows I never take the.
Bye-bye. Hasta la vista, Wheezy.
Oh, man, you got to love the trolls, man. You got to love the trolls. But I'm taking the Dolphins here. I'm not backing Tim Boyle. I'm not backing I can't do it. Can't do it. I actually was liking what I was starting to see from Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know what they want from the guy. I don't. I really don't. I think this is Salah. I know his job is on the line, so he's trying to pull any card. And then, when you're in that position, you got to have somebody else take the fall. And if you think Tim Boyle finna be your saving grace, stop it. I know the Dolphins did not cover last week, but hey, as I've told you, I love the culture change going on there in Las Vegas with Coach Pierce. I hate what's going on over here in New York. What have we seen the Dolphins do more often than not? Take bad teams behind the woodshed. And I think that's what they do here with the Jets on Friday. Everybody's going to get a good look at how good the Dolphins are and how bad the Jets are. Salah might not make it out the week. You can.
Well, that's why he's switching his quarterback. He's trying to save his own skin.
That's what I'm going to say. You cannot start Tim Boyle on a standalone Friday game, though. You can't do that. You can't do that. No. You would be better off running Zach Wilson out there and trying to win this game than to run Tim Boyle out there. Because what you're doing is you're really setting yourself out to get blown out. And the Jets Mafia is going to call for your head the day after. Remember, they took this guy second overall, and you cannon him for Tim Boyle? Stop it. When they get ran out of the building, Salah may not be there no more. The problem is he may make it through the season because I highly doubt they elevate Hackett to head coach. And who's the defensive coordinator? I don't know. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird things going on in there in New York. They ain't getting my money. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Tough one for me. The thing is, I really like the Jets in this game, but Tim Boyle is a joke, man. It's like a punchline. It's like you can blame it on no Aaron Rodgers, but this guy, it's not like, oh, he's some rookie that they're putting in there, whatever. This guy's been a stiff in the NFL for quite some time. He's been with a number of teams. He's been lousy on all of them. Remember when he came in for the Packers? Oh, my God. Even in the preseason, you couldn't bet this guy. He's so bad. He's going to get crushed. I like the Dolphins in this game. I don't. It's not a homer pick. It's just, believe me, I'm looking for any way possible to take the Jets in this game. Any way possible. There's no path to get there with Tim Boyle. There's no path to get there with this guy. Against Jalen. See, because the Dolphins secondary, from what people saw against the Eagles when they didn't get any call to save their life.
Well, Rams 2 last week.
Yeah, it's like with Ramsey in there, they're a different secondary because now they can press the safeties up, and also they have two corners that can play man, so it frees up everybody on the defense.
I need a Ramsey jersey. Can you find me one out there, please? Thank you.
Well, look, but Tim Boyle, man, he's
I love me some Ramsey, man.
I hate Tim Boyle, man. UConn Huskies. He transferred in from EKU. It's like,
Yeah.
seriously, man. He was 59 of 133. I mean, he's been in the league for a long time. He transferred to EKU from UConn because he was terrible. He was 31 of 60 at UConn. I mean, this guy's not good.
He's that's my point. So like there's no way he's outplayed Zach Wilson in practice. Like there's no way. There's no way. And you can lose your locker room by doing this type move right here. You don't do this because what all the players in the locker room I think are saying is coach only did this. I think Zach Wilson gives them the best chance to win, and coach only changed the quarterback to save his own job, and it never pans out that good when they do that.
Yeah, I don't see it. Do not see it.
Jets, Jets.
Oh, you took the Jets?
I took the over.
The over.
You need the Dolphins to do it all, big guy.
Might. All right, we got the. This is a good one. This is actually as big a rivalry as the other one. Saints and the Falcons. This is as big as Cowboys and Commanders. It just depends on where you live. These teams hate each other's guts.
They do.
This always comes down to the end.
In this game? Let me pull it up.
What
is it? What's the line currently here?
1.5.
Pick them at Circa.
Pick them. I'm taking Atlanta. Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta. I think the Falcons win this game. I know they've lost 4 or 5, but it's mainly been on the road. Home is usually a good remedy for this team. I know they've lost back-to-back at home, but this is a bounce-back spot for the Falcons. Regardless if it's Heineke, regardless if it's Ritter, I think they'll be able to run the football, control the clock, and win this game at home. The Saints, they're not good. They're not a good football team. They're not, and I'm expecting them to win on the road. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, it's Derek Carr. He's still in concussion protocol, right?
Probably. I know Michael Thomas is done. Yeah, Derek Carr's still questionable. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It says he practiced on Wednesday though. He practiced.
He did practice.
Practice.
I'm still.
That's the question.
Yeah, I'm going to join Jay. I like the fact that Ritter's back under center. I prefer Desmond Ritter, and I kind of like the fact that the Falcons are off those 3 straight up and against the spread losses. They're off the bye week as well, and when you get a rested NFL team off 3 Suets losses, they've covered 57% going back to 1980. So this is a tough game, but that's probably why I'm going to take the Falcons. Just a rested team off 3 really bad games.
The Falcons have a slightly better run defense. Slightly, and that's the slight edge that I could give them. I really don't love this game. I'm going to go with the under. I think both these teams just stink. One of them is more than likely going to be a playoff team. The NFC is so bad this year outside of the top teams.
One of them has to get in. I mean, because somebody got to win. It's going to be them, or the Bucks. One of these two are the Bucks.
Yep. It's probably going to be the Saints. I'm going to go with the Saints here. I don't
Atlanta, probably.
Ugh.
I don't know. It's a toss-up. I mean, any one of them can do it.
It's a bad game. Got another rivalry game. It's like rivalry week. Once again, start of the show, sitting on the sidelines. Bengals against the Steelers. Bengals, first year, probably not going to be in the AFC Championship in a couple of years.
Sad, man. Joe Burrow, man. Joe Shiesty. Sad. Now I got to go out there and watch. What's his name? Browning. Jake Browning. Ugh.
He's not good.
I'm still taking the Bengals.
Ooh.
I'm still taking the Bengals. It's +1. It's +1 at Circa, but it's 1.5 at DraftKings Bet Online elsewhere. +2 at Bovada right now. I'm just going to take the points in an AFC North division game. The underdog has now gone 46-27 ATS in those games going back to 2017. And, the Steelers have that coaching change. I don't know how much that's going to help. They
How
still
about
haven't
all these things, people like blaming these assistant coaches.
No. Okay, let me talk about this one. This one was actually warranted. Like where everybody,
it was warranted. It was.
You think this quarterback's worth a damn?
It's 10 games, but it's 10 games.
The locker room believes in him. The fan base believes in him, and
I don't.
Everybody believes in him.
The Steelers last week,
and so you had to scapegoat the OC. It's pretty much what it came down to.
Well, what are you going to scapegoat next? What are you going to scapegoat?
And the other thing is, and it's bad because the Steelers haven't fired a coach mid-season ever. I think in their existence. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think it's the quarterback stinks. This quarterback stinks. Pickett.
Nah, I'm taking the Steelers here. I think the culture change. I just think it all comes together for them this week. They're going to be slapping ass, high-fiving.
Why are they only a mild favorite over the Bengals without Joe Burrow?
Because it's still an AFC North divisional battle, and
but it's Jake Brown.
Everybody is saying.
What would the line have been if Burrow was in?
Since he would have been favored by
3.
How much?
By 3. Since he by 3.
So Joe Burrow's worth 4.5
points. Hell yeah! He's the second best quarterback in the NFL.
If he's the second best quarterback, then why are the Steelers only favored by 1.5?
Because they're still on the road in an AFC divisional battle. That's why. So, I'm taking the Steelers here, though. I'm not trying to overcomplicate this one. I'm not backing Jake Browning. I think the Steelers, Warren in that running game, Najee Harris gets going. I think Kenny Pickett in the offense probably looks a little better now that Matt Canada's gone. I think the locker room will rejoice. And, I think the Steelers get some good mojo going for the rest of the season. I'm going to take them here.
I'm taking the Steelers. I'm not betting on Browning. Pickett's terrible, but I don't think Browning's any good either. It just shows you the state of the quarterback. It's funny that Tom Brady, comes out in this interview and talks about the state of the NFL, like he's been removed from the league for 10 years or something, right?
That's funny.
He's 8 games. He's 10 games out of the league.
I said the exact same thing.
He's 10 games out, and all those rules that he's complaining about and all those things are all his. Those are all the rules they put in for him. It's like, oh my God, man! It's like
the same thing. That's what's
jerk
funny.
face, man.
That's what's funny. I said, Tom, don't turn into the old guy that just bashed players because he's not in the league no more. Don't turn into
10 games. He's only out 10 games. He acts like he's been out like it's like Brett Favre or something, or Dan Marino. It's like, or Joe Montana. It's like, you've been out 10 games, man. All these rules have not changed from last year to this year. They're all got put in for you. You diluted this game.
Yeah.
The under the knee, the above the thing, all that's the Brady rules, man.
They're all the Brady rules.
All Brady rules, man.
Yep, I'm agree with you, Mitch. I agree. I said the same thing as soon as I heard him say that shit. I said, Brady,
what are you talking about, man? It's like, it's like Chris Collinsworth, man. It's like listening to him for a minute or two. He's, oh my God.
I have to agree with you on this one, man. I said the same thing.
It's so weird, right? It was just like, what are you talking about, man?
Big Al, your favorite player might be back tonight.
Who's that?
Scoot Henderson.
Oh, I thought they put him in the G League.
Nah, he's been hurt this whole time. He's been hurt.
He's in the G League.
No, I thought he was going down there to rehab. Saw that come across a ticker yesterday.
Oh, that might be true. It says right now, just came across my phone, questionable for today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like Scoot. Haven't got to see him play much, but I like him.
Yeah.
I haven't liked what I've seen from him. We've got the Jaguars and the Texans. The Texans beat the crap out of the Jaguars the first time they played. This is a rematch.
Who you got, Mitch?
I'm going to take the Jags to get revenge here on the road. I think the road team has dominated this series. The way that, if I can remember correctly. So I don't know, man. I'm not 100% sold that the Texans. I mean, 6-4, they're basically a playoff team.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just the Texans have just dominated the series. Is really what it's been. I still think the Jags get revenge. I like them in this spot.
Yeah, road team 24 and 18 in the series.
But it's been the Texans.
Texans got that number right now. Yeah, they do. Like the last 5 or 6. I want to say they're on a nice cover streak. I want to say.
Yeah. 8-3 last 11.
Yep. They always play them tough, no matter how bad they are. What you doing, Big Al?
I'm going to take the under. Primarily because the first meeting was so high scoring, 37-20. It went over the total, of course, and I like taking regular season rematches of high scoring games under the total, especially if the team in the first meeting was upset, like the favorite lost the game straight up. In those kind of games, the rematches go under 61.1%. So I kind of agree with Mitch. If I was going to take the side, I would be looking at the revenge-minded Jaguars, but I'm going to take the total. I'm going to take it under.
This game scares the crap out of me, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I like the Jags. I like the Jags a lot, but it's hard to take the Jags against the Texans. A, the Texans have their number, and B, the Texans are playing well.
That's why I decided to go with the under instead of the Jaguars, because it's hard to go against Houston, right?
Yeah. My play of the week last week was the Arizona Cardinals, and boy, oof, was that a sweat. Shout out CJ Stroud for them 3 INTs. He had 2 interceptions all season, and he had 3 last game. And honestly, minus them 3 INTs, they might have blew Arizona out the water. I'm talking about all of them were kind of bad because they were driving, had good field position. If I had to go side, guys, I would probably go with Houston. And I don't love it. But what I've seen from them is they play their best football at home in NRG Stadium. They are playing well. The team, I love the culture that, D'Amico Ryans is setting. All I can think about is just remember the high praise you two guys were giving him all last year. And then you guys have not just loved him as much as I thought you might this season.
Because he's a rookie. He's a rookie head coach.
I know, but he's done exactly what you guys said he was going to do.
I loved him.
Al still loves him. Al's been loving on him all season. I had
the bet with Mitch they'd win 3 straight games that I have to go buy him dinner now at Spago.
Yep. Say hello to the Jay. You're welcome to come to say hi to the gang at Spago. Jay's part of the gang there. He hangs out at Spago.
It's my folk.
Sits at the bar. Everyone knows him. Comes in.
But yeah, it's not one of my favorite games this week, man. But if I were to play it, I would take Houston.
I have sat at the bar at Spago, and I don't drink. I've sat there from lunch through dinner. Got both.
Get up, Spago. I gotta go see my folk.
We've got a big basketball game coming up in 23 minutes, so let's move on. I want to watch Purdue versus Marquette.
All right. Kansas beats Tennessee. I was a little surprised.
69-60, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than the score most of the way. Most of the way it was tight. Got a little away at the end. I'm watching Villanova Texas Tech now. It's on ESPN2. We've got all right. We'll get moving. We got the Colts and the Bucks. Let me put the slide up. Colts and the Bucks. Boy, the Bucks. That was a physical game last week against the 49ers. There was some serious hitting going on. They were not calling anything. I mean, there was no protection penalties in that game. The Colts, just continuing to be the Colts. That Colts.
What a horrible game.
Colts 5-5 coming in.
Oh, just but a horror. Like, is anyone going to even watch this game other than Mitch, who watches every game? I don't know. I'm going to take this under. The unders are now 99-64 in the season, including 45-20 if one or both teams was off back-to-back unders, and both of these teams are off back-to-back unders. I'm going to look for another low-scoring game here. Currently, the number is I lost it. Where is it? There it is. 44. Taken under the 44.
Speaking of the Colts released 3-time All-Pro bowler Darius Shaquille Leonard. He cleared waivers today. Teams expected to show interest are the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
Guys that don't really need him, so because they only have to play a certain amount of plays. That's the problem with him, is that he's seriously damaged goods. It's like, I think the Colts are thinking, man, this guy stays, we're looking at a major lawsuit, man. It's like, I think that's the issue here, is that he's just major health problems. He's got spine injuries. That could result in lifetime paralysis. That's not good.
It's not good at all. I'm taking the Bucks here plus the points. I think they win this game outright. I understand that the Colts are home and they're off 2 wins, but I mean, the 2 wins were the 2 worst teams in football. Like, let's call a spade a spade. They beat the Panthers and they beat the Patriots. Ooh.
You picked the Panthers to beat us last week.
I did not do that. Stop telling people those lies.
You didn't feel confident enough that we would go in there and beat their butts like we did. CeeDee Lamb had a touchdown. Everybody had a touchdown.
I think the Bucks right the ship and stay in contention in that NFC South. They got a chance to make up some ground because the 2 teams above them play each other. So I think they win there. I'm gonna take my guy Baker in the Bucks.
Yeah, there's a few things in life that I really don't like. One of them is raisins. It's texture. The other one is Baker Mayfield.
They don't know Baker
Mayfield.
Mayfield.
It's like, I don't like him. He just holds on to the ball too long. Gets crushed. The Bucs are really not playing well. They're just it looks like a Todd Bowles team.
I mean, they've lost 4 or 5, but they've been competitive. And
that's Todd Bowles football, where it's like the games are close because he has a good defense and the offense is just dreadful. I mean, even Mike Evans. I tell you, there's a few receivers out there like. So the Raiders, they won't trade Devontae Adams to the Chiefs, right? But the Chiefs, imagine like if the Chiefs had him, or if the Chiefs had Mike Evans or someone like that, right? That's what the Chiefs need, right? They need a guy that can actually catch, and besides Kelsey, who can't catch either now all of a sudden. So it's like there's all these guys. I think the Colts are actually just a fun team to watch. I like this team. I like Pittman. I like Taylor. I like these guys. I like the Colts, and I think when you cut a Shaq Leonard, it clearly means that you have a different plan in mind. You have somebody there. He's been limited on snaps. They had to limit him on snaps because I think he's a liability. Like I said, I think he's an insurance liability. It's like. I understand. Like DeMar Hamlin, you don't see him out there. You don't see Bronny James out there. Guys, they don't want any part of it. I don't blame them.
Nah, you got a point.
I'm taking the.
They say Bronny might be back soon.
Yeah, he might. He has a chance. That Colts, because if they don't play him, he will transfer. He will transfer. He will transfer fast. A lot of schools would like to have him. I bet you he ends up in Miami with Arch Manning. got Arch Manning going to be transferring out of that Texas.
I don't know.
He didn't
I
get
don't
it. They put the scrubs in. He didn't get in a couple times.
I know, but everybody
God.
keeps saying that. But the reason he went to Texas is still intact. Like the reason he went there is to develop as a quarterback and because of Steve Sarkisian.
I think he
Both
got there. I think he went there because he liked the girls, and that was the whole thing. And like outside of that,
all right, you can add those to the list, and they're still there as well. So all
Yeah,
three are still
yeah, but it's
intact.
like if he wants to play football, he's going to go to Ole Miss, like his uncle did, like his grandfather did. They all go to Ole Miss. They all play in the SEC. Well, I guess he'll be in the SEC too.
But I think he sit one more year, then come out in 2 years and cold.
He don't want to sit another year. Why would he want to
not?
sit? Why does he want to?
Why so? Why not just sit the bench, get paid millions as a Manning kid, get better, and then actually ball when you're ready? You know,
He's not gonna.
nothing wrong with that.
All right, next up. Oh God, this is another bad one. Oof, this one hurts. Got the Giants and the Patriots. I'm looking for the slide. The slide doesn't.
Damn, somebody got to win this. Damn. Or well, not really.
Yeah, no one's got to win this. This could be a tie.
3-3.
Who's better, Tommy DeVito or Mac Jones? I saw it. I didn't read the article, but ESPN did have an article about Mac Jones. And,
DeVito wasn't terrible last week. He wasn't.
Oh.
He threw a couple of nice balls.
I assume Mac Jones is going to start. It's unclear who's going to start, but my money would be on Mac Jones. I had the Giants last week big. That was my best play, but I'm going to go against the Giants this week. I'm going to lay the 3 points with New England. I like that New England's coming into this game off 3 straight up in ATS losses. The Giants coming in off an upset win. And if you get a road favorite off 3 losses, they've covered 71.8% versus an opponent off a win. I'm going to take New England.
I'm taking the Giants. I'm not laying points with New England, especially not on the road. No, sir, not me.
But it's only 3 against the New York Giants.
So it don't matter. I mean, they've played, and when I just look at their last 5, they've played 3 of the bottom 7 teams in the NFL and lost all 3 of them to the Raiders, the Commanders, and the Colts. So, the Giants, they're right there in that same breath with all them teams. I'd much rather have the 3 in my back pocket or attack the money line, taking the Giants straight up money line. DeVito not that bad. He not that bad. I had the Giants with you last week. I had the Giants too last week. I actually was watching that game. He was dotting up. Saquon, he threw a nice little ball in the end zone. He kind of mobile.
Good. He's not good.
He's not bad though. I've watched him for back-to-back weeks. Of course, I watched him against my boys. I mean, that was his first action. He didn't look terrible in that game.
All you can say about that game is if DeVito can do that, imagine what Dak's going to do to those guys. We're going to kill them, man. We're going to win by 51-3.
I'm taking the Giants home dog here.
I'm taking the Giants. I would take a sack of dog shit over Mac Jones at this point. He is just absolutely terrible. It's like, he is so bad. It's like, I mean, he's terrible. I would take Tim Boyle over him.
Wow.
Maybe. Mac Jones is the worst. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's dead last now. Now that Jordan Love has thrown a touchdown pass. 2 in 1 game. Yeah, he's terrible. Terrible. I'm taking the Giants. The Patriots have no answers at all. I think this one's actually pretty easy. I'll put this in the circle. Al, what are you doing?
I might do it too.
I'm taking New England.
Big Al.
We're gonna get you help. There's hope.
Yes.
There's help for you.
Thank you,
We're
Mitch.
gonna get you help, man.
Big Al, how many times have they got you this year?
I mean,
New England?
yeah.
I'm just looking. They got me.
They're 2-8 against the spread. So.
Yeah, I had them against Las Vegas. I had them against Buffalo. I was 1-1.
You had them against the Eagles in opening week. had them.
Yeah. I haven't been on them I don't think they've gotten me as much as the New York Giants have gotten me. Put it that way.
Okay.
I had
Giants
them
are
against the
getting points
Jets.
at home.
I had New England against the Jets and won. So
You're going to lay the hook with the Patriots on the
I'm
road?
laying 3 at Circa. I'm laying 3 minus 15 cents.
That's the hook everywhere else.
No, it's at BetMGM. It's 3 minus 20. At BetOnline, it's 3. At Bet365, it's 3. At Bovada, it's 3. It's 3 in most places.
At Sunday, do you think it'll be 3 or do you think it'll be 3.5?
That's going to be 2.
I think it's going to be 3. That's what I think.
I think Zappy's just a guy that couldn't beat out Mac Jones if it is him. Panthers against the Titans.
You think the same Panthers chasers on them again?
Oh, definitely.
Getting 3.5.
As bad as the Titans are, as bad as they've been at times, they have been cold-blooded killers at home this season. The problem that they have is, can you believe this? They've only had 3 home games all season. They're back and loaded with home games. They could make a playoff run, this Titans team. They have only played 3 home games. One of them, I watch all the games. They destroyed the Bengals at full strength. They destroyed them. They're going to kill the Panthers. The Panthers are terrible, man. They're drafting first. They are. But the problem that they have is they don't even have their pick. That's how bad they are.
Chicago has it, right?
Yep. The Bears have 2 first-rounders, and they're both going to be top 10.
Damn, I just looked. They have only played 3 home games, and they won all 3.
Yeah, and they've covered in all 3.
Well, that makes it easy. I'm taking the Titan. I'm not going to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, we're going to blitz on every play. Anyone crosses that line of scrimmage, I'm going to bench every one of you.
Derrick Henry game where, they got the highlight of him carrying like 3 folks to the end zone. He probably has a nasty stiff arm.
Bryce Young gets beaten up some more.
Yeah.
Really had a rough rookie season.
Yeah, give me the Titans. Bounce back at home. I like that, Mitch. Coming off of 3 road games, get back home, feel the vibe.
It's amazing they've only had 3 home games.
I can see them going.
They had the game in London.
That don't count.
That doesn't count.
But I mean, it goes in the home,
Not really.
But it does. I mean, they have to make. I mean, it's not a home game, but I mean, it counts as one of theirs. That's why.
Still, even if they had 4, even if they had 4 home games,
technically, that's why Dallas will never go overseas because Jerry not going to give up no home revenue. It ain't happening.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah,
no, they have a choice. No, they kind of do. There's a reason Dallas hasn't been.
Yeah, and they haven't hosted. And if you don't go, you can't host the Super Bowl. So they haven't hosted a Super Bowl since. If you don't go, you can't host the Super Bowl. That's the rule.
Oh, well. So I know we ain't been.
I'm just saying that's why they've technically only had 3 home games because one of their otherwise home games was played in London. So
fair. What you doing here?
I'm going against Tennessee. I can't lay 3.5 points with that team.
But the Panthers, they stink. They stink.
I'm taking the Panthers. Sorry.
Oh God. Yeah. Said it in public.
Yeah.
Gotcha on tape. Cardinals against the Rams next. I don't know. I think Kyler Murray looked pretty good still. But the Rams actually, I don't know. Matthew Stafford, he's taking a beating back there. We're at that point in the season. Where is it? Here it is. Al, this was you. Rams, Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough game. I'm going to look at the under again. I'll repeat what I mentioned earlier. The unders are now 99 and 64 on the season. It's hard to go against that. And this is a competitively priced division game. The point spread's pick 'em right now at circa. So under. I'll take the under 44.5.
Let me just tell you what the books think of the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, 6-3 were dogs on the road last week to the Los Angeles Rams, who beat them.
They were favored most of the week.
And that same Rams team is now an underdog on the road to one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. That's what I mean when I say the damn Seattle Seahawks are overrated. Back to this. I'm taking the Cardinals. I've been on them damn near every single week. And I ain't jumping off, man. They my Falcons of last year, man. That's what they are. They're my boys. They my bad team that I'm just going to ride till the wheels fall off. They got it done for me last week, boy. It was a sweat. It was not fun. The Texans just always seem to get the ball back, got into their territory, and then they just couldn't get it done. The Rams, they're an okay team. You know, they're okay. You know,
They're a lot better than what we thought they were going to be at the start of the year.
They're a lot better than what everybody else thought they would be. I thought they would be right where they are, 5-5. I thought they would be 500. Is what I told most people. Because I mean, they still had Stafford, a Hall of Fame. I mean, a Super Bowl winning coach, and they got a Super Bowl winning head coach in McVay, and they still had Cup. Like they still got guys, still got Donald. They were going to be just fine in the mix of things. They just weren't going to be anything special. I think they lose here, though. This is the one that kind of puts the nail in the coffin. This is the one that sends the season, to damn, it's over. I think the Cardinals win this division game at the crib. It's going to be a game that's going to come down to the end. Kyler Murray probably going to scramble, and find somebody in the back of the end zone for the game winner. That's how all Cardinals games come down. They all come down to a Kyler Murray scramble, and can he make the play or not? And I think he makes it here. I'm going to take the Cardinals.
I think I'm going to roll with the Cardinals as well here. The Rams did look pretty good last week, though, against the Seahawks. They really did get the pass rush going. This is a tough one, really. But Matthew Stafford doesn't look that. I'm going to flip. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm
going to wait. I think this line goes Rams probably like -2 on game day.
I don't know. It was. It flipped the other way.
Oh, so it was Rams and then it flipped Cardinals?
Yeah, it has.
Now, do y'all think that's early sharp action or what? Why do you think that moved? Or is it
because of money?
So early sharp action, because I think early in the week to move the line through 0. You feel me?
To me, it doesn't take all that much to move a line through 0.
But to move it through 0 on the Cardinals, I think it does. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I think personally, come Sunday when the public wake up, ain't nobody going to be betting the Cardinals, especially not as the favorite. I think everybody going to be betting the Rams, and we're going to get some more value on the Cardinals, probably +1, +2 come game day. Kind of like how the Rams game did last week, I think is what we're looking at here. We'll see. I just can't imagine the Cardinals being favored come game day.
Well, they're favored virtually everywhere right now. Yeah. I mean, Rams 0-4 ATS their last 4.
They won last week, though.
Yeah, but they didn't cover. Oh.
I know everybody had Rams money line, but nobody really Rams -1.
Who are you taking, Mitch?
I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah.
I just think they're the better team, and it's like we've seen them gut it out these tight games. I like the Cardinals better. I would wish I could find a way to pick the Cardinals. I really don't like the Rams too much. I don't like that Sean McVay. He irks me. That field goal. It's still bothers me.
What's the next game?
The next game is the Broncos and the Browns.
Well, it's a good game. I think this is a good game. I mean, I think something obviously has to give. Cleveland's won their last 3. They've covered their last 4. Broncos on a 4-game win streak. So I'm going to take Denver. I was actually talking about this game with a buddy, a handicapping friend of mine last night. And both of us have been impressed by Denver's turnaround, especially on defense. It's really been remarkable when you go back to that debacle they had against Miami. Through those first 3 games, they had only forced 1 turnover. Obviously, they give up the 70 points to Miami, but since then, they've been really good. I mean, they've forced 18 turnovers over their last 7 games. They've given up just 20.8 points per game. They've won 5 out of those 7 games.
What's the number of called penalties that have gone their way in over that span versus penalties that went against the other team? Including declined penalties. I'm going to guess that it's about 30-1.
Well, then if that's a conspiracy theory, then maybe
it's not
it'll
a conspiracy
continue.
theory. It's just a conspiracy theory.
Okay, but then if it's true, then that conspiracy will be in effect for this Sunday as well. I'll take Denver minus the 1.5 points. I mean, if that's the theory that they've got the refs in their pocket, then it should continue, right?
The Broncos are a celebration of mediocrity. Just a gift because they like Sean Payton. They want the Broncos to be good. They're one of the most popular teams in the NFL. Sell a couple more Peyton Manning Bronco jerseys. Jay, what do you think?
I'm not laying points with the Broncos. I'm not doing it. Stop it. If they're going to give me the Browns as a dog again, or we've been cashing, I'm going to go right back to the well and cash again. I think they win this game outright. Y'all better stop, man. I keep trying to, week after week, man, I keep telling y'all, who cares about what's going on the offensive side of the football for the Browns? It's always ugly. It's always been ugly, and it's always going to be ugly. It just is what it is. But that defense, ooh, Lord, let me try to tell you about that Cleveland defense, boy. That defense is the best in the NFL in my eyes. It's the best defense I done put my eyes on thus far this season. They just get it done. They just get it done. No matter who at quarterback, because I know it's DTR back there, and like I said last week, he didn't wreck the car. He tried. He didn't, though. He didn't wreck it. He just drove the Mercedes. And I think that's all he got to do here. Russell Wilson's going to be Russell Wilson against the classic, the old Russell Wilson that we come to love last year against this Cleveland defense. And I will go under Cleveland for me. Short, sweet, simple.
I like Cleveland as well. I think the Broncos are a fraud. A joke. And I think all it's going to take is a couple hard hits, even if you get penalized or whatever. Just a couple of hits away from falling down the whole house of cards. Can't stand them. Chiefs and the Raiders. This was always a rivalry game. Chiefs really have problems now, wide receiver. I mean, they're real problems now. You got Scantling, who can't catch. They've had Tony, who couldn't catch at the beginning of the season. They really don't have any wide receivers. And Mahomes is young, so they're going to have to draft receivers, because no one's going to trade him one, unless it's Ladarius Toney and, someone like that. There's some good receivers out there. I don't know who's going to be a free agent receiver, but Adams certainly would be a good fit. Maybe they should talk on the, whatever. But hey, we want to play together like LeBron used to do with Dwayne Wade and everybody, Shaq and Kobe, whatever it takes. But I just I'm gonna go with the Raiders in this one. I just at home, it's a rivalry game. The Raiders, even though they didn't beat Miami, they sure were competitive in that game. They were. Mm-hmm. They played well. I'll give them credit.
This the price action on this game is a little bit surprising to me. I'll take it. The over-under opened at 45, down to 43, 42 and a half, 42 at DraftKings. You see a lot of movement on the under, on the Don Best screen. It shows 95% of the money is on the under, which I don't believe. I don't think anything's 95%, but that's what it says. So I like the over. I mean, Las Vegas has played its last 4 under the total, 8 out of its last 9 under. The Chiefs have gone under in 6 straight, so obviously that's why people think this is going to be a low-scoring game. But when you get an NFL team off 6 or more unders in a row, they've then gone over the total, 109 and 84. You get a combination of the number going from 45 all the way down in some places a 42. I'm a value guy. I'm taking the over.
Raiders for me. This is their Super Bowl. This is what Coach Pierce, he's coaching for his job right here, right now. If you can beat the Chiefs, something the Raiders never do, you will be the Raiders head coach.
No, it's not never. It used to be quite regular.
But recently, since Mahomes has been there, I don't know if they've beaten them at all.
Sure they have.
I'm sure they have not. They don't do that. They
beat him They beat him 2020.
That's 3 years ago.
They only play twice a year.
I know, but that's 6 games ago.
Oh my God! I'm glad we talked about New England 20 minutes ago because the line just hit 3.5 at Circus. So
shit.
I told you it was going there.
Yeah, I was wrong. I thought it would be settled within 3. It's just 3.5.
No, Mac Jones is going to start.
It's the Super Bowl for the Raiders, and it's a bad spot for the Chiefs. Chiefs just played, 4 of their last 5.
I think the last time they played a Super Bowl, they lost 48-22. Is that right? Against Tampa?
Maybe.
Is that right?
It might be right.
Well, it might be their Super Bowl. It doesn't mean they're going to win it. I'm just messing with you.
No, I know. But the Chiefs, they're coming off 4 of their last 5 are at the crib. I know many people may be thinking bounce back dominant win over a division opponent that they always kick the crap out of. But offensively, this team, it ain't been pretty. It ain't been pretty. And I don't know if it just necessarily falls back into place here. I see, if I had to call it, I think the Chiefs walk them off on a late field goal. Raiders cover.
I like the Raiders to cover also. I mean, you have no one that can catch the ball there. You got these problems are serious. They're serious because now it's not just like one game where a guy dropped the ball or whatever. It's like we knew they had problems at receiver, but now they're really bad problems at receiver. Because even they brought him back McCole Hardman, and he's not even playing there. I mean, because he can't catch either. It's like nobody can catch, and it's like, Chiefs are in big trouble right now. They are 7-3, but they can be had. If you can lose that game like they did to the Eagles, your best player, second best player, drops the ball. I mean, when they're going in for the touchdown, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, her mama's there at the game. Oof. It's not a great first meeting of the families there. I think they're Eagles fans, right? So you probably want to make them happy. Whatever. I don't like the Raiders quarterback situation at all. But I'm going to guess that him and Adams are going to work this week because he missed him by like 10 miles throwing it to him. All right, we got the 2020 game that would have been really good last year. Eagles and the Bills.
I mean, I think there's only one way to look here, and that's Buffalo with Philadelphia coming off. I mean, talk about a team winning at Super Bowl. That's what Philadelphia did on Monday when they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That's about as emotional a game as you're ever going to have for a regular season game. And so I don't want any part of Philadelphia here. For technical support, teams that avenge a playoff loss with an upset win, they've gone just 26-41 ATS. Their next game, I'm on Buffalo plus 3.5.
I'm on the Eagles. Buffalo's straight ass. Whoop-de-doo, you beat the Jets. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, so I'm just supposed to forget that you lost at home to Denver? I'm just supposed to forget, how you lost out on the road to the New England Patriots, that didn't happen. Last time we seen you guys on the road, you've lost twice to a struggling Cincinnati Bengals team and the New England Patriots. And now you're supposed to come in here and compete with the team with the best record in the NFL? Stop it. They're going to tush-push these boys right to a 7 point.
I tell you what, on top of a bad play by Josh Allen, his line's getting a lot more holding penalties too. I like the Eagles in this one. I think it's just a good team against a bad team. They might be begging you to take the Eagles at this point spread and then throwing it in this time slot where, well, there's no other really attractive games there, I guess. Especially for this will be the one that's like, the one that's on everywhere. Anyways, we got it's like this is probably the squarest play on the board, the Eagles there, but I'll take it.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are on Buffalo. That Buffalo
I think Buffalo's going to get a lot of money.
Me too. And then it's not the greatest spot for Philly. You got to remember, they're going through a gauntlet right now of a schedule. Like, can they get up for all these games?
Have you seen Josh Allen this year?
Oh, I know. But listen, just follow me.
Like Patrick Mahomes, the guys are dropping the ball, but this guy's telegraphing his passes. You can't run against that Philly defense. They're too fast up front.
Just listen to the schedule.
He's gonna get planted.
Then division battle with the Commanders, who always play you tough. Then the Cowboys. Then the Chiefs, Bills. Next week they got the Niners. Then the week after the Niners they got Dallas. Then the week after Dallas they got Seattle. It's ugly for the Eagles. They're going through a gauntlet.
Right, this is a must-win game. They're going to slaughter the Bills.
They might.
This is the must-win game, kind of like the way that Eastern Michigan,
here's my
buckled
forecast.
Up the chin straps last night.
They win here.
Most.
They win here, and then they drop back-to-back games, and Philly fans act like the sky is falling. I think that's what happened.
Oh boy,
they're gonna drop back-to-back to the Niners and Dallas, and they're gonna get spooked.
We got the Chargers against the Ravens. This is another bad game. Boza just went. Joey Boza just went onto the injured list. He won't be available until the final game of the season.
It's your team, Big Al. You need this one.
Oh no, I've waved the white flag, Jay. They're done.
He's moved on to the Patriots. And
I've moved on to my futures bet on Purdue. That's right. I've moved on to the Boilermakers. I don't even care.
In college basketball?
Yeah.
Oh Purdue. God, no. No.
It's because of his Virginia angle. I remember he told me about it.
I know. Well, Virginia won the national championship when they lost, but the thing is, they didn't lose to Fairleigh Dickinson. They got worked.
Anyway, a friend of mine has his futures bet on like Tennessee. I think he's got 40-1 or whatever. And so he was upset last night about Purdue beating Tennessee.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it does for seeding. I mean,
seeding doesn't matter. After the first round of the NCAA tournament, seeding does not matter. Let's look at the matchups of the second round of the NCAA tournament. You tell me it matters.
Hold on. Wait a second. Believe me, or I would much rather be a 1 seed than a 2 seed and get to have to play the 4-5 matchup in
one seed. Not one seed made the Final Four last year.
That's not the point. The point is that it's an easier path. I want
not necessarily only in the first round because the committee sucks. They don't understand the game.
Okay,
so it's like they put like 8s and 9s that could beat 2s. It's like they do not watch the games.
I'm not talking about 8s and 9s. I'm talking more about the 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to play a 4-5 in the.
It does not matter. Does not matter.
Historically, number 1 seeds get to the.
Historically, before the transfer portal and before the image licensing, yeah, And now that the small schools work as a farm system for the big schools, and you see even like the Toledos and the Kent States bringing in the transfers and getting image licensing, you're seeing a whole different story. My wife went to Xavier for grad school. They sent out a letter to donate money for their image licensing to support their basketball team. That's where this has gone. And I'm telling you, you saw it last year. All those years, there was, how many years? Ever since I could ever remember, a 1 seed had never beaten a 16. Now it's happened twice in like 3 years. And we're going to see it a lot more often because these teams can all play. They can all play. And I'll tell you, the committee is so clueless. They do not watch 1/10 of the games that I do. And they are way wrong. They're like not even close on their seedings. That's why in March Madness, I dominate because they leave it wide. Indiana was favored over Miami in that game. They beat the shit out of them. It's like, and then it was like all the way Miami was a dog in all those games. It was like, just beat the shit out of these teams. It's like, what are you talking about? You should have seen, who came closest to beating Miami except for UConn was Drake. Came the closest. And it was like, the line, what the line on was the Drake Miami game? 2.5.
2.5, yeah.
I know, 2.5.
Okay, well,
these guys know nothing, man. They know nothing.
I still think it's important to win the games, and I'm going to be rooting for Purdue here to, beat Marquette. So I'm going to take. That doesn't mean nothing. I'm going to take.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Okay. I'm taking the under in the Ravens-Chargers game. I am not taking the Chargers. They can go fuck themselves. I'm going to take this under the total. I think it's moved. I think it's also moved higher. It's up to 48.5 last I looked. Is that the number you see? Yeah, 48.5. What are you taking, Jay?
The Chargers.
Oh,
I know. They burned me back-to-back weeks, too. I'm talking about I've been on them the last 2 weeks. And I told Mitch I got to get up off these boys. I got to. But I can't. Not this week. I got to stay on one more week, man. Home dogs. This is for the season. And I got to be on them here for the season. They lose here, I think it's over. It's not technically. I got Patriots.
It's over. It's over. Come on. There's too many teams to leapfrog.
Where are they at currently? Oh, it's not over, Big L. It's not over.
It's over. There's too many teams. Too many teams in the AFC.
4-6.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's all over about the crying.
4.
So last year, no number ones made the Elite Eight, but what about the year before? I know the one number one, Kansas won it, but no other number ones made it in that year either.
Last week might have screwed them, but I think they come out here and play well this week. I do. I got to try.
Mitch and I have 2 dinner bets. We each won one. I got to tilt it in my favor and get it to 2-1. I will make you a bet, Mitch, that at least 2 number 1 seeds make the Final Four this year.
None have made it in in 2022. None made it last year. None made it. So only one of the last 12 Final Four teams has been a 1 seed. That's how bad the committee is at this. They stink at it. I'm telling you, if it's they're almost as bad as the guys that do the polls for college football. Not quite as bad, but they are so close as bad. They've gone to this quadrant system, which makes it even worse. It makes it even worse.
I agree with you there, but would you take the bet? I say at least 2 number 1s get to the
final. Oh, absolutely. We'll go to the caviar farm, for whatever it is. We'll go to John Robert, man. We'll go to Robert for, whatever it's called. Robert's at MGM.
That's not my cup of tea, but we'll find it.
Not mine either. I'm not a meat eater. A lot of heavy sauces at those things, French restaurants. more of a Spago type.
Let's go to Spago, or we already got that. We'll go to. We'll find.
Jay's like, I'll be there. I'll see you guys. I'll be already be there.
We'll go back to Amalfi and at Caesar's Palace.
Actually, they're building a new place. They're changing that out to something else.
Yeah, I know where I want to go.
That's what I heard.
I want to go to the Wynn, the buffet at the Wynn.
Oh, screw that! You don't want to go there, Jay.
I do. They say that's the best one of all of them. Is the one at the Wynn.
I used to go there like many years ago, but I got to tell you, for the price of a buffet in Vegas, you could sit down and have a nice meal at a restaurant and get really. I mean, when you need to tie on the feed bag, it's like you're not gonna enjoy it. You're not big enough. You gotta pork up a little bit if you really want to prepare yourself for something like that. I saw Brian May at the
I'll
Wynn
meet up with
buffet
Tony
one
Brown
time.
before and smoke some dope.
I saw Brian May at the Wynn buffet, and nobody knew who he was. It was clear that nobody knew who he was. It's like, that's Brian May. But yeah, I'm not a buffet guy. I don't like it.
When I lived in Las Vegas, I'd do it every once in a while. It's just not my thing either.
It's like you feel obligated to go back for thirds. It's like I'd rather just go to like Amalfi and have the waitress say, "Man, you're a good eater."
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's also about the atmosphere. I just don't really like the atmosphere.
Jay, that's what she said to me at the table. She said, "You're a good eater." Me and Al, we ate because we had like 4 courses. She was like, "You guys are really good eaters."
That's hilarious.
We didn't have to pay either. That was the beauty of it.
That was the
We
best
didn't
thing.
know it. I didn't even know it. It wouldn't have mattered. I would order the same.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like the Ravens here. Marquette's up by 30.
No, it just started.
They already have bracketology up. Texas Tech is first out. Kansas number 1 overall.
That's absurd. Like,
I know. Ohio State, see? They have Ohio State getting in. They're a joke, man. Why would they even get in? They're a joke. They are a punchline. Did you see the Texas A&M game? They were favored over Texas A&M. What a joke, man.
well, we got.
Oh my God, man. And they have Oklahoma, Jay's team. They have you as the first 4 out. I bet you, I'll put you this. I'll tell you what. If Oklahoma plays Ohio State, I'll bet you dinner at Spago for the rest of your life on that. Straight up. I mean, how is Oklahoma in the first 4 out, and they're actually number 4 in the first 4 out, and Ohio State is in, and Northwestern is in? Oklahoma is a beast. They have like the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense in the country. Porter Mosier's coaching that team, the guy that brought Loyola to Chicago to the Final Four. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They probably got UNLV in. UNLV's ass. All right.
Monday night, Bears Vikings.
We're in November. I'm already arguing the tourney field.
I'm going to take the Bears plus the points. They did everything but win the game last week against Detroit. They lost by 6 earlier this season to the Vikings. And you take a look at how NFC North division teams do when they're playing with revenge from a loss earlier in the season. And if they're also coming off a straight-up loss in the previous game, they've done really well. They've gone 105-74. I'm on the Bears. I don't really care that Minnesota's been playing well lately.
Marquette's winning 12-9.
I know.
I got him on the money line.
Plus what?
135.
Yeah.
I think it is. I got to check. But I got plus 135. I got 2 big money lines today in college hoops that I love.
Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's a small one. The other one's just a gift. The other one is someone is like favored that's like clearly the better team. It is the one that I have the money line. The bigger money line is Oh, SMU over Wisconsin. They're going to beat them by 100. Wisconsin's ass. Another Big Ten stiff.
Oh, you got SMU plus 280?
Yep. Love it. I would like even more points. They're going to kill them. Wisconsin's ass. They got nothing. They got so lucky in that game against Virginia. Virginia just could not hit a shot. They were just rattling them around. But the Tennessee game, I mean, what a joke. That was at the Kohl Center. They got beaten to a pulp. It was a 3-point game, but it was never close. It was like never, they were never in it. They got destroyed in that game. Wisconsin's a fraud. 3-2. It's like, they're not good. SMU is good, man. They're traditionally a strong program coming off of a bad year. They have a lot of money. They know how to work image licensing. They've been paying players long before anybody else was paying them.
And they finna get that ACC money. I keep telling people that. SMU already got their bread. SMU is in the most expensive part of Dallas.
They lost to A&M. They lost to A&M, who's another way underrated team. Buzz Williams is the coach at Texas A&M. That's the game they lost. No shame in that.
Go to SMU is like $100K.
Yeah, SMU's straight money in that one.
I think it's like $100K.
They're way live dog.
Have you guys had a chance to watch Carlton Carrington play for Pitt? I haven't had a chance to see him play, but he's getting a lot of hype that he could be a top 4, top 5 draft pick in the NBA.
You know, Jim Boeheim said to Capel last year, best team money can buy. That was the big argument they had all season long, going at each other. He's got the best. He bought himself a team. Now it's,
it's the rules now. You can do it.
Oof. Can't defend that. The big guy goes up like that, and nothing you can do. Just foul him. Just hit him.
Oh, you're watching the game? I don't have it on.
Yeah, they just.
Do you think Edie is NBA material?
I think he's
zero chance. Zero.
I think he's way better than like a lot of these NBA guys. I think he's so underestimated, and I really hate Purdue. I think they're a joke, but I think this guy.
I think the reason Edie returned was because he was told.
He returned because they gave him probably like $14 million.
I don't think so. I think he was like a second round draft pick, and he's like, no, I'm going to take the sure money. I don't need to be playing in Israel or some place because that's where he's going to wind up. He's not going to wind up in the NBA. He's not made for this game anymore. I mean, he's
He can hit from the outside. He's good.
Not for the NBA.
He can pass, rebound, he hits free throws for a big man.
I mean, look at Boban Marjanovic. Just planted on the bench. That's Zach Edey.
Fair.
That's just what I think. I mean, what do you think, Jay?
I'm kind of with you. I'm in the same line of thinking as you.
I mean, it's these teams, they want to play fast. They want to run out to the 3-point line. I don't see how Edey fits into any of today's NBA.
Everybody that placed their Wemby Rookie of the Year, they're in trouble.
What's in trouble because of Holmgren or in trouble?
That boy Chet, yeah, that's why. Chet hooping.
Yeah, they're both,
The thing, it's just gonna come down to what people want. Because the Thunder, they're gonna be really good. They're gonna be really good, and the Spurs, they're gonna be really bad.
Spurs are not going to be. They are really bad. They're as bad as they were last year.
Yeah. So
I mean, they've got like a minus 10 point something net rating. Horrible. They're bad. I mean, so
tonight though, I would.
I want the Spurs to get Mattis Buzelis from G League Ignite, and then I want them to get a point guard with Toronto's pick. They've got 2 picks in the first round, so that's the path I want the Spurs to go next year. I want to put Buzelis with Wemby.
There you go.
Who are you on the Monday Nighter, Jay?
I don't know. I don't know.
Another primetime crap game.
Yeah, I don't know in this thing. I love me some Joshua Dobbs. I'm on the Dobbs train, but like 3.5 of Minnesota, yeah. And then, Bears, they looked good last week through 3 quarters, and I don't know what the hell happened in the fourth. Gun in my head, Bears, division game, points in my pocket, over the hook. That's probably where I'd be, but we got a long time till Monday, so we'll see.
Fair enough. What do you think, Mitch?
Vikings. I just think they're the better team right now. I think they have more talent on the roster. I think the Bears will be good when they get their 2 first-round picks if they don't waste one on Caleb Williams.
I wouldn't use it on Caleb. I would probably keep Justin and get 2 good players rather than draft Caleb.
Well, they have 2 first-rounders, so it's like they're both going to be in the top 5. So
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather get 2 legitimately good players than they draft Caleb. If I were them,
if you're doing that, then you would just trade the pick and you get a haul.
well, yeah, mate.
Because someone's going to want to draft Caleb Williams. So.
New England probably.
Yeah.
I don't see them trading up.
I'm seeing Drake May tied to New England. That's right up their alley.
Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a great show. I'll be on the drive-thru in now 20 minutes or something.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And I don't know when
Catch
we're doing
me
college football.
tomorrow.
Yep, I'll be there
Halftime.
first thing in the morning, as always.
Catch us halftime tomorrow. I'll probably drop a Thanksgiving Day NFL jam session just for the 3 games tomorrow. You guys can watch that too as well.
I'm going to miss the weekend show, guys. I'll be in Ann Arbor at the game.
Turn up. Send me some pictures.
Yeah. It's going to be cold.
Any lean for me early week?
No, I'm passing the game. I mean, I just think it's going to be a good game.
Michigan.
What do you guys think?
Michigan.
I know what Mitch thinks. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, he hates Michigan. Y'all know my theory. I need Michigan to win, so Ohio State get up out of there, and then I need a lot of things to happen for Texas to make the college football playoff. But it can happen. It can happen.
I don't think Michigan's going to win.
You don't think they're going to win, or you don't think they're going to cover?
They're not going to win.
Okay.
Ohio State has better players this year. They're just better this year.
I think it's a coin flip myself. I think it's a literal coin flip.
I think Ohio State has head and shoulders better players. I think they're gonna win decisively. I think that Harrison Jr. is probably the best player on either team, and then I even think that Henderson is more NFL ready running back than the Michigan guy Corum. And I also think at quarterback, at Ohio State, this guy's a game manager. He does a nice job. And I don't know. I think the Michigan quarterback seems to get happy feet a little bit.
Oh.
He hasn't really been in it, The only time we've ever seen him in it, he didn't win it. So they beat Ohio State, but when they were in the big game, I don't think Ohio State was as good last year as they are this year. I think they're better.
They're pretty good. Last year's game, I thought was. I think both years that Michigan won, they both surprised me. Not that they won, but that they won the way they won. Just blowing them out just surprised me. I think the two teams are really close, and this game should get back to normal where it's
not last year, but the last time they were at Ohio State before that was the Urban Meyer's last game there. I mean, oh my God, that was a shellacking. It was supposed to be a close game too. It was when they ran those crossing patterns all over them. They had no answers. Olave had like monster day. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you guys next week for week 13. We're getting there.